Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Microsoft 365 Community Conference sponsor webinar series. I'm Ella Fernandez, Head of Connections at BeTechly. Joining us today is our sponsor, Jabra. Today's session focuses on the intelligent, inclusive AI-powered audio and video for modern work. But before we begin, here are a few reminders. To join the live Q&A, you'll need to register for the webinar. If you haven't registered yet, simply scan the QR code on your screen or visit BeTechly.com, select today's session, and enter your business email address. Once registered, our team will add you to the calendar invite, which includes a link to join the Q&A portion. At the end of the session, please note that the Q&A is not live streamed. Come and join us at the Microsoft 365 Community Conference this April 21st to 23rd in Orlando, and register now by scanning the QR code on your screen or head to nextgen365events.com and use the discount code SAVE150, all caps, SAVE150, to get $150 off on your registration. Apply for the Microsoft 365 Community Grant Program, built to help small businesses and nonprofits accelerate their AI journey with hands-on learning, expert guidance, and financial support to attend M365Con 26. Scan the QR code on your screen or visit change3e.com/grants. And of course, please like, subscribe, and follow both BeTechly and the Microsoft 365 Community Conference. Without further ado, let's get started and enjoy today's learning session.
Thank you, Ella. So my name is Michelle Ritz. I am the product manager for headsets for Jabra in North America, sitting in the global team. I am super excited to be here today to share with you the new audio headsets that we have. What's really exciting is I'm sharing my screen in a quick second, and you guys will be able to see the great stuff that we have. And where I'm going to cover is all of our intelligent audio, the audio and the AI and all of those trends and all that exciting stuff that's happening. I'm going to swap my display view so you guys can see it better. So Evolve3 and the best headsets for modern work. We introduced these back in January. They are shipping now. And just to set the stage of where Jabra has been and how we've been on that forefront of the evolution of work, thinking through how work has changed, that shift of work over the last years. 2014, that UC revolution, Jabra Evolve, our legacy OG products, were on the forefront of letting that adoption happen, getting people to work in those be productive in noisy environments. Fast forward to the hybrid working 2020, we all know we had to work from different locations. The Evolve2 products were those that were driving the concentration, collaboration, and flexibility. And then that modern work shift leaning into the future. You know, we know that we're working in more and more locations. Those are noisier locations, and also leaning into AI. And I'll talk a little bit about the trends that shaped us bringing Evolve3 to market and really the foundations of those. At its core, audio. We know that when you're looking for a headset, especially from Jabra, you want a product that's going to give you that best-in-class audio. We're leaning into appeal, the consumerized design, really premium materials. And then, like I said, that future aspect of AI. We are hearing organizations are adopting that. People are using it on the daily basis. How can we be that gateway to voice-led AI? So those are the trends that shaped us bringing Evolve3 to market. We brought two exciting products as our flagship to start off. We'll be bringing more within the Evolve3 product line, but we've built the Evolve3 portfolio on four main pillars. Again, that foundation of audio, best-in-class voice clarity, but also that undisturbed focus, being able to concentrate and lock in. That appeal, it's not just, other competitor headsets we're up against, it's consumer designs, it's consumer headsets in a work environment. So how can we drive a more appealing, slim product that people want to wear? Leaning into that AI, we understand that people want to use their voice to interact with these platforms. We're already doing that. Hey, Alexa, hey, Google. We're using our voices on a daily basis to interact with AI assistants. That makes it more productive. We can talk 3 times faster than we can type. So how does that headset become that gateway to those interactions? And then lastly, assurances, all wrapped up with the certifications, the security, the peace of mind that you get with Jabra products, knowing they're going to work out of the box with any platform you use, and all powered by Jabra Plus, our value add platform that allows for you to manage what's out in your environments. So without further ado, introducing our 2, like I said, flagship headsets, our 375 and our 385. For all intents and purposes, both of these headsets offer the same experience in terms of the feature set and how they work. The difference is the wearing style. We know people have different preferences. So for folks who just want something on their ears, that 375 is a great fit. For somebody who really wants that full occlusion, that full cocoon, that 385 rests over your ear, gives you that total noise cancellation in terms of the wearing style. So I'm going to kind of dive into the 4 pillars, starting, like I said, with that audio. If you guys notice here that I've got the black one on the screen, this is my personal gray one. I have a feeling my camera cut out because I don't see it flashing anymore and I don't want to disrupt the slide, so I'll just keep talking. There's something missing from this headset, something key when we talk about professional headsets, enterprise grade headsets. We have removed the mic arm, that boom arm, but we have not removed the standard. We have still able to give you a product that delivers that unstoppable voice clarity and focus without the need for that mic arm. And we are doing that by leaning into technologies. If you guys know Jabra, you know that we're part of a larger company called GN. We have medical grade hearing, we have gaming. We leverage the different technologies and advancements that our different organizations can bring. And we've done that here using DNN technology, deep neural network. It is a technology that our medical grade hearing side has been using. It is an AI-based platform technology that uses 60 million sentences as examples. It's trained in real world examples. It is tested to isolate the user speech from background noise. And that, with our signature Jabra algorithms, allows for us to give you that amazing experience without the microphone arm, especially in windy environments. So you think about a flagship product, those executive step-ups, people who are working in busy airports or taking calls while they're commuting, having that boom arm picks up wind. Now we're able to give you the best quality without a boom arm, especially in windy or noisier environments. In addition to that, we also know that there's other feature sets that people like, that appeal, being able to have a product that maybe doesn't have that boom arm and makes you look like a call center agent. We will have 2 color variants, the black, the predominant, we know that'll be the most of the volume, but just in leaning into consumerized design, consumerized choice, a very gender neutral warm gray. And if we think about these products compared to our previous generations of the same models, we have made these 23% lighter and 35% slimmer, really leaning into premium materials, premium metal hinges, but also from a sustainability perspective. All these products will be replaceable batteries, meaning a consumer or user can access the batteries and replace it, extending the life cycle of the products. But we've also made strides in using the most recycled materials and meeting all of the certifications tied to our sustainability initiatives. That's a really big area of focus for GN as our organization. We have lots of standards we hit, and we really make steps to ensure our products have the smallest footprint or are using the most recycled materials. Let's take a look at AI and what that means. And this is something that is going to continue to evolve. At its core, when we think about AI and those integrations, right now, you can use the Evolve 385, 375 paired with your mobile phone to access your phone's default assistant. So something like, hey Siri, set a timer. Hey Siri, email Michael and let him know that I'll be 5 minutes late for my meeting. You can already access it on your mobile phone. We will see this continue to evolve. We will see this be something that organizations lean into, as we know that when you refine your prompts, and you can use your voice to be able to specifically ask for things when you're using these AI platforms. The responses you get are better suited and also in your tone. So we'll see this continue to evolve, but at launch and at the product right now, via your mobile phone, you can access this, and we'll see this develop further into the future. And additionally, what we talk about with our current products and continues with the Evolve3 with impressive stats is accuracy. Again, when you think about when you're using an AI platform, my reference is Copilot. I use a lot of recordings of meetings, meeting notes, transcription summaries. If that information is not accurate, what I get out of it is not going to be helpful. It will not be productive or efficient for me to read a transcript or watch a meeting recording where it's not capturing the audio correctly. Evolve3 captures more than 96% of words accurately, which means that you won't have to repeat prompts, but also those transcription, then those action items will be more productive based on the fact that it's capturing all the information correctly. And then, like I said, assurances. We talk a lot about the certifications that we work through, the different platforms, those interoperabilities that ensure that when a user is given their headset, it's easy to use. Out of the box, it works. It connects seamlessly. You also have those great integrations with the call controls. Nothing like being double muted in a call. When you have a device that's certified through the platform you're using, it ensures that it's going to unmute you within the device and on the platform. So those assurances make it a better experience. We also offer the dongle that drives a stronger IT experience. We're leaning into Bluetooth Low Energy. We are using Bluetooth LE chipsets within these devices, which means if you have a laptop or hardware that supports that, you can connect natively without a dongle. We are still providing the dongle because that is the best and most consistent experience. We have certifications across all leading UC platforms, working interoperable with those. We also allow for open-ended backends. If an organization wants to take our headset and integrate with another platform, we are open to that. That Jabra Plus, I'll show you guys a few screen grabs of what that looks like, but that is a value add for IT admins, but also the ability to personalize as a user, be able to change your music settings or adjust how much ANC you let in. These are all things that allow you to customize that headset so that it's made for how you want to use it. We also have some great fast pair, swift pair, define my feature if you happen to leave it, or a cast as a receiver. Lots of great feature sets within the headset that ensure that all of that peace of mind makes the user want to use it. Additionally, a great improvement across the board is, we think about how long we're spending throughout our day on calls. Can promise you I've been on the side of putting my headset on and getting that dreaded low battery, and then you start to scramble. What's exciting is within the 385, 375, we have rapid charge. It's a wireless charge as well, so any Qi charger will work. 1 minute on the charging base gives you 1 hour of battery life. Really a great way to be able to power you through your day. If you can't take the headset off and put it on the charger, we still offer audio over USB, meaning you can take your cable, plug it in, no interruption of audio, and you're still able to charge that device while you're using it. In terms of the actual battery life, 25 hours of nonstop calls or 120 hours of music on a single charge. This is with ANC off. Those numbers are about half if you're using ANC. And one of the other uniquenesses within Jabra, us being an enterprise headset, these headsets are a true crossover in terms of the lightweightness, the design, the feature set, the music experience. We offer ANC in calls. If you're thinking about a consumer headset, they're there for the music experience, for people to use for media. We know that our users are using these for calls. They need to sound professional. They need to block out their environments. So ANC in calls is something that's super unique to Jabra that we're really excited to offer because it allows for the user to not worry about what's happening in the background. They're focused on that call and they're not having to worry about, one, if the far end hears it, but also their distraction. So super uniqueness that we are offering within Evolve3. kind of touched on it quickly, but just to give you a little bit more around what Bluetooth Low Energy is, it is the next generation of Bluetooth technology. It is a very future-proof device or chipset that allows for better sound using lower power, but also, like I said, that future-proof experiences. We know that we'll be able to unlock additional experiences in the future using a Bluetooth LE chipset. So that is where we're going with all of our products. We're leaning into that future, using less power, better sound, and then again, all of those additional features that we can unlock in the future. And then, like I shared, we talk a lot about the app, the being able to use a platform, especially for the investment. Organizations are spending lots of money to give each of their employees a headset, a dedicated headset, and we hope they use them. We hope there's that adaptability. We've made strides in the design and the ease of use to make that so that people want to use it. What also happens is ITDMs have to manage what's in their environments, and especially on the video side, being able to see or push out firmware, see what's out there in the meeting spaces. A headset is no different. We do updates and fixes to security or to improvements throughout the life cycle of the headset. Having the ability to update that firmware, having the ability to customize settings, personalize settings, or just see and troubleshoot what's out in their environment is a super huge value add. So from a centralized management, ITDMs can use our Jabra Plus platform. They can download it. It's a cloud-based platform that allows for them to see what's out there. And additionally, we have the Jabra Plus personalized side, which each user can use to customize settings, update firmware, make their own personalizations through the headset. I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to stop sharing, put my camera back on, and hand it over to Michael, who's going to take you through some of our video stuff.
All right. So hi, I'm Michael Dressler. I am off mute and the manager of Global Technical Alliance Services at Jabra. I put it on mute so I wouldn't accidentally interrupt Michelle's thing, and I decided not to interrupt myself. What you see is our growing portfolio of video products that Jabra has, all Microsoft Teams certified. In August, we released the Panacast 40 VBS, and that's for small rooms. Panacast 50 and Panacast 50 VBS have been out for a little while for medium rooms, and we just announced at ISE in February the Panacast 55 multi-room kit for large spaces. So we have some other things as well, schedulers and personal camera, which I'm using. I'll take a quick moment and we'll run through the Panacast 55 large room solution. Then I'm going to spend most of my time on Express Install, showing you what it is, how it works, and what all we've done with that. So large rooms, it's basically our Panacast 55 VBS is our Panacast medium room solution, but with expanded options, so expanded audio and expanded video. So we partnered with Hudley, so you can see on here on the right-hand side, you can add 1, 3, or 5 Hudley cameras to our solution. And Hudley does a great job because they self-figure out what the best view is and how to configure, so you don't have to do any programming to set up these video cameras. They figure it out on their own. Similarly, we had announced the expansion speaker mic, which is a speaker and microphone all in one, so many options for expanded audio. Only provide a microphone. We've put a speaker in as well. Both of these are active, so the microphones and speakers on the video bar are active, as are the microphones and speaker on the bar, so on the puck. So they also auto configure themselves. So the point is, we have a large room solution on Android that supports multiple cameras that you plug it in and you start your meeting. You don't plug it in and then spend 4 hours programming it. Troubleshooting also becomes so much simpler. So that is our large room solution that we've announced. It's coming out in a few short months, but wanted to make sure you were aware of that. But I want to talk about Express Install, specifically Express Install for Microsoft Teams Rooms, what it is, and give you sort of a demo. Now, if you look over my shoulder in the small little window, I could increase my video, but we'll just focus on me for now. That's an Express Install over my shoulder that I have installed. And I'll show some images of how I built that, and a really bad before and after. You'll see what I mean. Express Install, the whole point is that the cost of conference rooms is more than just a video bar and a display on the wall. It's the installation and the maintenance of that. So especially in smaller and medium-sized rooms, is it really worth the cost to mount things on a wall, run cables through the wall, buy plenum rated cabling because you're going through a wall, so that's more expensive? Or is there a way we could just kind of plop it on a table, not drill anything? Like they love having glasses in conference rooms, and a lot of times the table is against glass. So how are we mounting a TV on glass? Or it's an open space. There is no wall to mount the TV, so now you've got to buy a cart. There's a lot of workarounds, but here is a solution for those situations, and that is the express install. Here's what it looks like. Jabra, we've partnered with Salamander for that Salamander Acadia stand that you see in the image. And so what ends up happening is that, like on the right image, I like this one because here you can see if you were to mount this on the wall, it'd be much further away from where the people are, or in a different example, if that were an open space, there would be no wall to mount a display on, or a conferencing system like the Jabra Panicast 50. And then over here, we see it more also at the end of a table, maybe in a little more conventional thing where the table is against the wall, but for reasons, we don't want to put holes in walls. Say we're renting the space, or this is a temporary space. We don't want to permanently have conference room equipment, but due to renovations or other reasons, we have to convert this space into a conference room. So instead of doing all the expense and hassle of mounting and running cables through walls, we'll just set it on this stand, sort of freeform, and go. Now I say freeform, meaning you can put it anywhere you want, but with the Salamander stand, you can permanently affix it to the table so people don't pick it up and walk away. But a cool thing is you can pick it up and walk away with it, meaning that if you have temporary spaces, you can pick it up, move it to a temporary space for like a day, and then put it back. Yes, it's heavy. Take the display off first. But that does open up the option that you cannot easily do when your conference room equipment is mounted on a wall. You can't just quickly go, oh, grab that TV, grab that video bar. Let's have a, for our one-day boot camp, let's set up this other room for conferencing. So lots of opportunities open up, and cost and speed are two of the main ones. Here's kind of a different view of what it looks like. We'll get some real-world action views of what this is. So you can see on the front it looks nice, but on the back, what's inside here, and I do have images showing what's in here, is a whole cable rack, kind of a vertical cable racking system and a device mounting system, which is all neatly hidden. So if there is a window on the other side, it doesn't look ugly and gross. And if we can see down here, here are the cables that go into it. So generally, you just need a power cable and an Ethernet cable going into it to run it, though you could, if you're into BYOD, run HDMI or USB to the table. But essentially, it's a very clean cabling, very clean look on the back end. Of course, there'd be cables coming out of here, which you could run nicely down into wherever you need to go. So very good view from the back. I'm gonna skip this video here. Oh, here we go. Here's me building one. So this is the Salamander stand that got sent to me. So I went ahead and just took some pictures as I did this. And so there's a box. Here's the pieces and parts as I start going. Keep in mind that I'm a single person. So one person is able to do this. Recommended you have a friend. Just good life guidance in general, have a friend. But also when you mount the TV, it's a little easier. But as I start building it together, there you can see the open back of the Salamander stand where all the cable, now I was doing Teams Rooms Windows, so we have an entire compute module in here, a power strip. I don't think in this one, in other ones I've built, I have put a network switch in the back. So lots of ways you can sort and organize all of this. And then when I close the back up, you can see there's the cable that goes to the Teams Rooms console. And I believe that is the Ethernet cable, and that is the power cable. So nice, clean look from the back, and then from the front, this is what it looks like. And yes, you put these, you build these in your kitchen, right? This is where people build conference room systems, in the kitchen. So I said there would be a before and after as I'm getting to the wrap-up portion. So here is the before. Now this is where I say it's a bad picture. This picture was like 6 months before the next image. So this is what my office looked at one point. So it's going to look super staged when you see the next picture. But this is an actual view of what the back of my office looked like until I had the salamander stand, and then here we are after the fact. So we can see, this for clarification, there are two panic hats here. They're not both mounted. Maybe you can see there is a table stand here underneath it. But I was now able to take my home office, my home lab, and make it look really nice. Also 2 trees, because again, this is a staged photo. The previous one was not staged. It was just a random, I never took a before picture, just a random picture I found in my photos before and after. But I think you can see that, like in this example, I've got artwork behind. I constantly get equipment in and out. I don't want to mount them on the wall. So salamander stand worked out great for me. And so that is, I think, both all I have. I'm out of slides. And I think my time on Jabra and Express installs, and how our great video cameras that work great for small, medium, and large rooms can be mounted in an Express install environment.
All right. Well, thank you so much for that outstanding and cool presentation, Michelle and Michael. To everyone joining us on the live stream, thank you so much for being here. And we'll be wrapping it up shortly. We invite you to visit Jabra's cool booth at the Microsoft 365 Community Conference, and they're at 318 booth, right, Michelle, Michael?
I don't know the booth number, but I know I'm at the M365 conference. So come say hi.
All right. Now, if you haven't, or if you don't have your conference pass yet, register now to the Microsoft 365 Community Conference by scanning the QR code on your screen, or go to nextgen365events.com, use the code SAVE150, all caps, SAVE 150, to save 150 on your registration pass. Now, to apply for the Microsoft 365 Community Grant Program, scan the QR code on your screen or visit change3e.com/grants, supporting small businesses and nonprofits with hands-on learning, expert guidance, and financial assistance for M365Con 26. If you'd like to participate in the live Q&A with Michelle and Michael, please be sure that you join us using the link provided in your calendar invite. And I got a confirmation, it's booth 318. So thank you so much, and bye. Okay, now we're opening our floor for the Q&A. All right, let's look at our first question here. What's one small change organizations can make today to improve meeting inclusivity?
You want to take it for video, or you want me to take it for audio?
Take it for audio, and
all right.
that way I can think of my answer.
Yeah, I know, right? Thanks. No, I think there's a lot we can do. And if you guys, if you notice on the screen, one of the things that resonates, especially with the products we introduced, something like a 385, it sits over the ear. So just from an inclusivity perspective, we know that, yes, these are flagship models, these are executive step-ups, but they're also great for people who wear hearing aids. Because when you're wearing a hearing aid, you already have something in your ear. So a 385 allows for somebody who has that to actually wear a headset, and it doesn't bother them. Additionally, like I mentioned, with using that Bluetooth LE chipset, we have the ability to use Auracast as a receiver. So again, if you are in an area where you're listening to broadcast, so somebody, again, who has hearing and they need to have that come in through their hearing aid, you can use the headsets as a broadcast receiver for Auracast. We'll start to see the Auracast technology more and more throughout different technologies, and especially I think in Jabra, because we have that tie with the medical grade hearing aid side.
All right, so on my answer, I got a second to think about it. Inclusivity is used in 2 ways in the industry, which I don't love the first way. I mean, I love the first way, but I don't think it's the way it should be used. One is everyone included in the meeting. So when you are sitting at home watching or joining a meeting, are you able to see and hear everyone that's going on? And so that's where we like our 180-degree story on our video products, and that no matter where you sit in the conference room the person at home can see everything going on in the space. So they can feel included in part of it, as opposed to like, oh, Ella's sitting against the wall. I can't see her. Is she even there? She suddenly says something. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know she was in the meeting room because you couldn't see her. So there's that inclusivity of, can you be seen and heard? There's also the inclusivity that Michelle started getting to at the end there with Auracast. All of our video bars have an audio out that you can connect to an Auracast transmitter. Without getting into details of what Auracast is and how it works, essentially people who have hearing difficulties can put on headsets or use their hearing aid and listen to an independent audio stream of the meeting. So the example is Michelle has her headsets on because she has some hearing challenges. Ella and I are doing fine, whatever. And we decide it's too loud in the conference room. We turn down the volume. And Michelle's like, wait, what? What are you doing? Like, don't you know I have a hearing problem? We're like, yeah, but what about that tonight? It's just too loud. The great thing is Michelle has independent audio control via the Auracast feed that she can then increase the volume or keep it as is while we in the room decrease the volume. There's that inclusivity that inside the conference room, Michelle, we don't have to make a compromise of too loud, too quiet. We can both groups can independently hear the meeting as they want. On our Android video bars, we also have a colorblind mode. So for people who have visual issues, I mean, I definitely do, I wear glasses, but specific to colorblind, we have 3 different settings you can do before the meeting that will help separate reds, greens, and blues, depending on your colorblind mode. That will help you see slides. Because a lot of people go, hey, the green bar shows profit, the blue bar shows profit this month, and people are sitting there go, I can't tell the difference between green and blue. Tip, always put a pattern, because then you can say the hashed pattern versus the not hashed. Anyway, for those, not everybody does that, so you can go in ahead of meeting and do that. So I think at Jabra, the inclusivity story covers a wide range of things, from both just joining a meeting with headsets all the way through to a full conference room experience.
Very well said. And how should leaders evaluate whether their current collaboration tools are truly supporting hybrid work?
That's a great question. I think, we IT admins spend a lot of time giving their employees, the right tools. But necessarily, as your leader, does your leader come to you and talk to you about the right tools? So I think it's important to make sure that you have, devices that make you feel like you can be part of a meeting. We know that from our stats and our market research, 80% of meetings still have a hybrid perspective. And if you are that hybrid person, do you feel comfortable and do you feel like your voice is heard if you're trying to speak up in that meeting and add something to that meeting? So I think, leaders should just kind of ask the question, do you feel like you have the right tools to do your job? What can we provide to better support that and ensure that the tools that they have, are something that they want to wear? We know a lot of people don't necessarily like, a boom arm in their mouth or, in front of their face. So having the ability to give options is also important. And it just drives adoptability of the products too. If I like the headset and I like the color and I'd wear it out, it's, there's more of a chance that I'm going to wear it during calls, which means I'll sound professional. I won't have to worry about connectivity issues, and it'll just work out of the box.
Yep. And as a leader, how do you know it's working is by asking your people who use it. Is a conference room, does it work? How long does it take to join a meeting? Do you just walk in, hit the join button, it works every time? You walk in, hit the join button, and sometimes it works. Are cables disconnected? Are the TVs not working? So ask them. And there are a lot of ways that you can fix that beyond just buy a better TV. It's there's a lot of AI things coming specifically to Teams Rooms. I know Ilya Bukshin, who's responsible for Teams Rooms, has already hinted publicly that the camera is going to look at the conference room over the course of the day and let you know if things are working or not working, if the room's disheveled or not. So there are AI things coming to the Teams Rooms world to help with that. But there's also simplification. Don't make your rooms overcomplicated. The more equipment you have in the room, the more things that can break. And so I think Jabra, we do have a very simplified, straightforward platform. We have things coming out, which I sadly can't talk about, that will also lead towards some of that simplicity over time. So ask your people, talk to the IT organization or the AV organization about what is constantly coming up and how can we fix that? How can we fix that to make a better environment?
Awesome. Well, I have one more question. What's next for Jabra as AI continues to shape the future of work?
Yes.
So I was going to say I'll go first because you went first, so it's my turn to go first. I already hinted at some of that with Teams Room specifically, that the AI stuff is coming into there. Microsoft's done a lot with Facilitator, which is either Facilitator or Take Notes, depending on which version of Teams Rooms or where you're looking. They're still settling on a name. So all of that is there. And then specific to Jabra, we think that having great microphones leads to great transcripts, which leads to great meeting summaries. So we've always been proud of the microphone quality we've had in our conference rooms. I've literally done testing in front of customers in their conference rooms in a temporary install, taking a Panacast 50, putting it at the end of a table, not even on a table stand. And this, by the way, this goes way beyond our specs. Don't actually install this. But going like 30 feet away, talking into the wall, and someone remotely could hear me. And they could hear me clearly. Now, that is never a use case. People don't talk into walls 30 feet away. But the idea is there are great microphones, and the better the microphones are, the better they can go. On our Panacast 50 USB device, specific for Teams Rooms Windows, we're the only Microsoft Intelligent Speaker certified video bar, meaning we send multiple audio streams to Microsoft. Every other video bar can only send one. And we did that because we're certified versus non-certified. There's a whole world of certification and intelligent speaker we don't have time to go through. But just know that at Jabra, we've been working closely with Microsoft on a lot of things to make sure that the transcripts coming out of conference rooms are as sharp as they can. I probably stole half of Michelle's thunder.
I'll revamp it. No, don't worry. But like I said, we talked about that AI pillar. Anything Evolve3 will be built on those 4 pillars, which AI is a super huge part. Just because we know organizations are adopting AI, it's not, if it's when and how. And I think that how part is really exciting. And what we'll start to see, Ella, and to kind of see the future trend is, again, you can do it on your mobile phone. We know there's platforms that organizations are adopting to be able to use AI. So the intention is that we'll start to see lots of integrations with those platforms with your voice being that key. But again, for transcription, for the accuracy, but also just to refine the prompts. The last thing you want is to, have AI generated email that doesn't sound like it's from you. So the better you can make it sound like your tone and the way you speak, the better results you'll get and the more adoption you will see across the board.
And I will throw one thing in on headsets is that there's a guy I know who was going through Microsoft Ignite trying to talk to his AI assistant just using his phone, and it was so loud the reception wasn't very good. He threw on some Jabra Evolve3 flexes, I think they were, continued walking down the hallway, and suddenly his entire AI conversation experience drastically improved. It went from basically unusable to, wow, this is totally useful. So a proper engineered headset for today's world definitely is useful.
Thank you, Michelle and Michael. You know what? That is sound amazing and exciting at the same time, and incredible. For sure, everyone can't wait to see what's next and what's going to be out there soon. Well, everyone, that brings our Q&A to a close. If you haven't registered for the Microsoft 365 Community Conference happening April 21st to 23rd in Orlando, now's the time. Use the code SAVE150 to save 150 on your conference pass. Register by scanning the QR code on your screen or head to nextgen365events.com. Before we wrap up, you may also apply for the Microsoft 365 Community Grant Program by scanning the QR code showing on the screen or by visiting change3e.com/grants. This program is built for small businesses and nonprofits to support hands-on learning, expert guidance, and financial access to M365 Con 26. Thank you again, everyone, for spending time with us today, especially to Michelle and Michael, and we hope you find this session insightful and valuable. See you at our next event. Bye.